Welcome to the Twitter clone, how to make a Twitter clone video. Today we'll be building a clone of Twitter or X, and we have changed the theme to red color. That's why I have named it as red X. Let me demonstrate you how this works. If you click on sign in, you will have a button to sign in with Google. You can select any one of your accounts. When you click on continue, you will be redirected to slash homepage, and this is the homepage. You have a sidebar, you have a main area where you can post your tweets, you have a trending section. If you go to view profile, you will be redirected to slash profile slash p Siddharth, and here you can see your tweets. You can also sign out. You have explore option to search other users. Let me search my own name because I have only one user currently. If I click on this, you can see my name. I'll show why the image is not being rendered in the course. So these all things we'll be building, and here's how you can make a post. Click on a post, you can type maybe Jai Shri Ram. You can click on tweet. Tweet is posted successfully. You will be redirected to the profile page and you can see the tweet. You can also delete a tweet if you click on this, and you can delete. Tweet is being deleted. You should ideally refresh it, but maybe some cache problem. Yeah. So this is what we'll be building. So let's begin by discussing this. So we are building a social media app with Google sign in, feature of posts, likes, and searching users, and some prerequisites. Node.js must be installed on your machine. You can verify that by going into your terminal, clicking on node dash version. You should see some sort of the version, and you can download it from the web. And you should have some idea on full stack framework like Next.js, React, little bit of TypeScript, although we won't be using that much, but some idea is fine. And you should know a little bit like Postgres, Prisma. Even if you are new to these things, I'll be guiding you through the way. So let's begin. You should make an empty Next.js project in your system. So you can go here and you should type npx create next app @ latest, and you should give the name of your application. This dash dash triple dash name, just write your name on whatever you want to name it. Once you have created this, let me do it once again. Npx create, 1 second. Yeah, so let me create a new app. Let me make it trash because I have already created an app. So it will ask you some questions, so you have to answer yes. For TypeScript, you can choose either of these things. Yes. Tailwind CSS, yes. Source directory, yes. App router, yes. And you can click no. When you click no, it will be installed, and I won't be installing it now because I already have it. So after you install it, you have to cd into that. So this was my directory, course red X, and in that I had again another directory where this was the actual Next.js app. So here I just will open that thing. So this is the thing which I'm talking about, and let me just go into the terminal of VS Code, and you should click npm run dev. This should open ideally at 3000, but because I was showcasing the demo, it is taking up another port, that is 3001. If you click on 3001, you should see a template of the Next.js project. This is what you should see. So let's discuss how we are going to make this. So let's first draw the schema of our application. Let's make a user schema, and side by side let's make a tweet schema. As I have already created this project, let me showcase you where I have created the schema. So this is how we can create schema using Prisma. So you can just see that we have a user which has email, full name, username, date, join. Let me just copy this and let us discuss about this. So let me just make it a little big. So we have a model called as user who has an email, then has a full name, and then he has a unique ID. And what do we have next? We have some tweets and a username. So every user has a tweets parameter which is of model tweet. Then we have when did he join that. We make this some issue. Yeah. Then the date and a unique username. So this is the model of user. And if we go to tweets, the tweet section, we have an ID, the content, the like count, then the comment count, and then we have referencing user ID. We will have user ID, user ID, which will act as a string, but we will reference that to the model user. Yeah, so we have a date. Yeah, we have a date and a user. We make it go here, and a user which references user ID to the ID of user. So its type will be user. If this seems little confusing, you can search about relationships in Prisma or Postgres. Relationships in Prisma Postgres. So relation references, you can read the documentation how this things works. Give it a little try. So here you can see a user has a post, and he is referencing this post as an array. That means every user has multiple posts in an array, and every array has an ID, an author, and author ID, and the author is referenced to this user using this author ID, which is over here, and the ID, which is this user's ID. I hope it's clear, and if it's not clear, just look at this documentation, which I'll link it in the description, or you can just go to prisma.io /doc/orm/prisma schema, or you can just type in relationships in Prisma Postgres. It's important to understand the schema. Moving ahead, when we have created this, we need to install Prisma in our application. So if you can see the final code, I will also link down that in the description. There is a Prisma folder in our application, but currently we don't see that. So you can create a Prisma directory by clicking few commands. Let me showcase how you can initialize Prisma in your project. You can initialize Prisma by typing npm install Prisma. Once you install it, it will take some time to install. After it is installed, you will have the dependency in your package.json file, which is opened right over here. And see, you have a 5.15 version. Then you can just create npx prisma init. So node package executable. So it will create a directory which is Prisma. As you can see here, it is created, and it is also creating a .env file, which you need to have a database URL over here. So let me showcase what is this file and how does it work. You can just move this file into a source directory, because it will be neat and clean when you are writing a whole lot of things in your application. So this is the schema.prisma. Here we have to write our schema. So let us write our schema. My copilot has already written it, so let me not depend on it, and you shouldn't also. So you need to have an ID, you need to have an email, you need to have a username. Let me make it username. Username, full name, not username, sorry. And you can make it default unique. I am not using ID as in such, I am using username. So you can make it as this, or if you want, you can change it to email ID, whatever you want. Let me just fill in the model user as well as this one. So let me just copy this. So you have the email as a unique ID, and let me just copy this, and then let me explain you how it's working. So yeah, so this is how it is. Now let me explain how we are doing, what is this. So you have a tweet which is having an ID which is the primary key, and it has a default value of unique UID. It is generated by Prisma. You have content, that is the contents of your tweet. You have a date, which whose data type is date time. Here is the same thing. You have a like count, comment count, a user ID and the user. Everything's fine. So now we need to migrate the database. That means we have to create a migration. That means these all commands should be created using SQL, because we are using Prisma, and Prisma will generate based upon this model SQL commands. And when we connect to the database remotely or locally, those commands will be ran whenever we are creating a client. A client is like a controller of this database. So let us go to cd source. It is important because it is in your source directory, the Prisma file. Then you can click on npx prisma generate dev. You should type the dev flag, and you can give it name of this migration. You can name it as first migration. So npx node package executable prisma generate dev dash dash name flag, that is the name of the migration. Because we are creating these two things, I have just named it as first migration. When you create it, you will have a variable name from this, and yeah, we have a client being created. So as you can see, you have it has installed a scheme prisma.client, Prisma packages in the project, in the node modules, and it has also given us a Prisma client to us. So now let us generate this npx prisma generate. Wait a second. I hope you can see this, or let me clear this, and let me type npx prisma generate. When you do this, you have a client being created, and we don't have a database at this point. So if you go into env file, you should replace this with your database. So let me tell you how you can replace that with your database URL and where you can get that. Here you can go to NeonDB, and you can get a free tier Postgres database, or else what I personally use is Aiven. Aiven Postgres. You can go ahead and create a Postgres database. It's quite easy. You can just log in and sign up, and you can just create a database. Once you create a database, you will get a database URL. You can just replace that over here. And once you do it, just come back to this video and we shall continue. Once you have your database URL as well as some other configurations, let me just showcase you. So you need a next auth URL, which should be this URL only, and a next auth secret, which you can name anything you want. You also need a Google client ID as well as Google secret ID, client secret ID. You can ignore this for now, or else you can add it. It's your wish. Let me explain now how you can get your own next auth URL. So if you go to next auth, you can, I'm just explaining you how this works. So if you go to get started, you can go here, you can see providers, you can see in Google you have this for production. This is a callback URL, as well as you have a development callback URL, and this is how we are going to initialize this. Just these 3 lines, and the next auth will provide us with everything. How to get your Google client ID and client secret? Let me show that to you. You have to go to Google Cloud. You have to click on this. You should go to your console, and I already have created this for my project, so there will be some, this will already be there. Let me create a new project. So if you click on new project, it will ask you something, just create it, select the project. It's creating because it's cloud, it will take a little time. Just select the project. You are working in this project. Now you should go to APIs and services. When you click on that, you will have a sidebar appear over here. You should go to credentials first, I guess. Yeah, now you can create credentials, auth, client ID, and here you need to define all sorts of things. Let us wait for it to open. So configure okay, we need to configure a consent screen, so let's configure that. So you can click on anything. Let us go with external. App name, you should give your app name over here. Email, and let us give it Twitter redx. You can add a logo also. You should add a domain. So I had this domain on the Vercel, so I added this domain on the app, but you should add your own domain. If you go to next, the scopes would come. Let me add email addresses. We just copy this email address and go here, save and continue. So if I go here, you should add a remove scopes. We need actually the email address, we need user information, and we need an open ID. Rest all things we don't need to have. And whatever you are selecting over here, it will be showcased to the user. Should save and continue. You no need to add users. You can just click on summary. You can go to back to dashboard. Now you have this, so you can go into credentials. Now you should be able to create a credentials. So we are using a web application. You can name it anything. You should now add JavaScript origins. So you should add localhost 3000 slash. I guess this is fine. HTTP colon slash slash. And you should make it auth, because let me tell you why. Oh sorry, we should not make it auth. My mistake, my bad. You can add this, and you should also add another URI which you will get when you deploy on Vercel. So let us ignore it for now. You should also have a callback URL. That means whenever the Google authentication screen comes, it should have a redirect URL to the next auth. So if we go over here and search next auth, I just showcased to you the callback URI. So let me just type that because I remember that. So it is auth slash callback and then Google, and you can just create it. Once you create this, you will have a client ID and client secret. You can just copy and paste this. I will be deleting this after the upload of the video, so it's not a problem for me. So this is the part 1 of how to get started with creating the necessary things. You should get your database, and you should just paste your Google ID, client ID and client secret over here. You will be getting that over here. You can just go and edit also. See here you have client ID, client secret. Just copy that and go over here and paste it. You can name next.secret as anything. So this is the part 1 of the video, and if you are if you understood everything well enough, you can go to the next part. See you guys. Thank you.